Today, we are unlocking the secrets to thriving in both your well-being and your business without sacrificing either. Would you like the key to soaring success? Well, our experts are ready to share with you their advice for building sustainable health and business. So let's go say hi to them. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Laura. Thanks for having me. So, I'm Elizabeth Sherman. I am a life and health coach for women in midlife. You can find me at elizabethsherman.com, and I am a U.S. expat living in Mexico.
Oh, well, welcome. Thanks for being here. And hi, Ellen.
Hi, Laura. Thank you for having me today. My name is Ellen McIlhenny. I'm a fractional CFO from Montpelier, Virginia, and I can be found at cfoplusservices.com.
Well, I'm so glad both of you are here because creating sustainability in both health and well-being is key to having a really thriving life. So I wanted to start off right out the get-go with your advice. And Elizabeth, I know you're a health and wellness expert. Tell us what advice you have for people for building sustainable health.
Yeah, well, I find that most women, whether they're in midlife or not, that we try to go all in on our health and be perfect at it. And what that leads to is that we do everything or we do nothing. So I find that health doesn't have to be complicated or perfect to be effective. In fact, one of my taglines is that you can half-ass your health and still see positive changes by focusing on small, consistent actions rather than aiming for perfection. And so instead of fixating on losing weight or achieving a specific look, we can build on sustainable habits like eating more whole foods or moving your body regularly and getting quality sleep, those things that help you to feel better. And so these actions done consistently will lead to lasting improvements in your health and your well being.
And would you say there's one that's more important than the other, or where should somebody start?
Oh, that's a really great question. And it's a really hard one to answer. I find that when I'm working with my clients, that if someone comes to me, even if they're trying to lose weight, if their sleep isn't dialed in, if they're having trouble sleep, that's usually the place that I focus in on first because it's that one domino that once we get that in place, everything else seems easier because when we don't sleep well, we don't make good choices in our eating, we don't have the energy to exercise, and we get snappish at work, right? And so we don't manage our stress well.
Yeah, really good point. And I think too many of us are underslept, I guess, or sleep deprived. And
Absolutely.
and that would be a really good advice to take in, take to heart. And then what we can do with that is build our on that to create our sustainable business success. So I wanted to move over to Ellen and ask you, Ellen, for your advice that you have for business owners on how to build sustainable business.
Well, Laura, I know most business owners don't go into business to read financial statements. They want to serve their customer and they want to provide a great product. But I will submit to you that probably the most important thing, other than those two things, is to know their numbers. And so when you go to a meeting with a banker or to even a potential buyer, um, it's really important to know, have a conversational knowledge of your numbers. And so that's what we try to do to help small business owners, learn their numbers so that they can talk more intelligently about them.
So let's pretend we're talking to a brand new business owners. What numbers should they be aware of tracking?
So first of all, when you're first starting out, obviously cash flow is the most important thing because nobody can stay in business if they don't have cash flow. So most business owners don't even know what a cash flow statement is, but it's probably the most important financial statement they have. And so we always concentrate on the P&L, the profit and loss statement, the balance sheet, and the profit and loss statement. And so those are the starting out, those are the most important. And then we build on that by doing key performance indicators, seeing how you're doing within your field and within your industry. And that's how we kind of focus on making incremental increases in the profitability of your business.
You said two statements there, the profit and loss statement and the balance sheet. What is the difference?
The profit and loss statement is a statement that talks about how you're doing this year. It's all, numbers for this year. And then you can also pull up your profit and loss for last year, but it's 1 year, it's a snapshot. It's a cumulative for the entire year. Now, your balance sheet is a cumulative from the time you started your business. So it builds upon itself. And so each year, the profit and loss kind of zeroes out and moves to the balance sheet. And the balance sheet just continues to grow and grow and grow based on the numbers you've done the previous years.
So you can do some forecasting off of that.
Yes.
Right. And then the key performance indicators can show you which areas you need to focus in on. Is that right?
Sure. Key performance indicators can be how your profits have increased based on other companies in your business, in your industry, or it can be how your balance sheet is performing, how your cash flow is performing. There are just dozens of key performance indicators you can focus on, and so we always try to pick out 3 or 4 by owner, what they're interested in, and then we work on those.
And how does all these numbers relate to the sustainability factor of the company?
So you have to start someplace. You have to have a baseline. And so if you don't start measuring, you'll never know how you're improving or not improving. And so it's basically a starting with a baseline. And so what we also look at how we're doing in the industry against the industry. We're also we look at how we're doing based on previous years. And so whether we're improving in different areas.
Because if you're not tracking your numbers, you might get a scary surprise that your business could be
Exactly.
doing very well. But if you are tracking, then you could be thriving and learning where to thrive. This is very valuable information, both of you, for creating that sustainability. So I wanted to hear from each of you about your background. Who do you work with, and what do you do with them? So Elizabeth, would you like to chime in?
Yeah, so I work with women in midlife who want to improve their health so that their health doesn't get in the way of the things that they want to do in life. And so I work with women in the areas of eating, exercise or movement, sleep management, stress management, and body image. And, it's so funny with talking to Ellen about her key performance indicators. It's kind of like the same thing with health. Most of us will go into thinking about health with like, oh, I want to, with our business, we're like, I want to earn X number of dollars per year. That's an outcome goal. And the key KPIs are kind of like behavior goals. So for me, I like to focus with my clients on those things that we are doing on a regular basis so that it will ultimately get us to that ultimate goal. And so I like to think about doing what's called health first goals versus like weight loss goals, which is what many of my clients come to me about. And unfortunately, we can't control the number on the scale. But what we can do is we can change our behaviors and focus on drinking more water, eating more vegetables, getting out and, being more active or getting a good night's sleep.
Excellent. And so how did you get into this? Tell us the story.
Yeah, well, I guess I was making lemonade out of lemons. It started in 2001, and my mom passed away from breast cancer at age 63. And it was the first time I remember actually sitting in the hotel, or not hotel, hospital with her, and she was talking to her doctor. And I remember just thinking that if I didn't make some changes, that I was witnessing my future. And that scared me enough to want to make changes myself. And so my goal is that if I can help just one woman avoid what my mom went through, I will have served my purpose in this world. And so I am just such an advocate of wanting to be healthier. And for so many women, we put so many things in front of our own health. We put our jobs, we put our family, we put everything else in front of us, and we can't seem to, get out for that yoga class that is really important to us and helps us to feel better. And so when we can pay attention to our own health, it's actually going to help. It's going to help pay us back because the healthier we are, the more we can serve and be better at our roles and do everything for leading a rich life.
Beautiful. It's inspiring, and thank you for the great work you're doing to help people create that sustainable health. It's beautiful. Ellen, tell us a
Mhm.
little bit about you. Who do you work with and what do you do for them?
Well, I work with small business owners, and a fractional CFO is somebody who works with a company who they can't afford a full-time CFO. They don't need a full-time CFO. So I work for several different companies as a CFO. And so I, I like to say I give financial literacy to my business owners.
Beautiful. So how did you get into this work?
So I worked for 18 years as the CFO of a mid-size independently owned company. And we grew a lot during that 18 years through acquisition. And so I was sort of on the front end of several acquisitions of small businesses. And the one thing that I found out during that time was 90% of small business owners have no clue what they're doing when they go to sell their business. They have no clue what their business is valued at. They have no clue how to go through the transaction. And it really became very sad to me because most of these people that we bought businesses from had been in business for 20 years. And so 20, 30 years, and they were ready to retire off the sale of their business. And it was very difficult to go to them and say, your business isn't worth enough money to sustain you the rest of your life. And, just to be honest with them. And so I felt like I could bring a service to sort of sit on the other side of the table with these people and help them build their businesses. And that is one of the things that I kind of specialize in is exit planning. And so what we do is we try to build the balance sheet, the business to the point where it's sellable, first of all, and second of all, there aren't any big surprises when they go to sell. And that's become my passion because it really, there were a couple of situations when we were going through these acquisitions that I swear I was almost in tears at the end of the meeting because you can't overpay for a business, but you just knew that the person was not expecting what they were dealt.
Yeah, and it's so valuable what you do as well because that's a person's retirement. And
Yes.
so if you haven't planned for it or you think you should get lots of money for your business, but you really don't know what your balance sheet is and what the value of it is in the marketplace, you may be hit with a surprise. So I love that you're helping people prevent, that unfortunate and really help them maximize their hard efforts. And the same with you, Elizabeth, you're helping people maximize their health efforts and really getting a sense of reality around what is really sustainable habits. So this has been really robust to be able to have both of your wisdom on the show to inspire people to not just do it on their own and assume everything's going to work out. Get the support, education, knowledge, and guidance that will really take you to the next level of that sustainability in both your health and your business. And so I love that you're here and you're both premier members here at Women Speakers Association. So I'm curious, I wanted to end with one last question for you all. What drew you to Women Speakers Association? What's the value been for you, Elizabeth?
Yeah, so I really want to connect with other women speakers because the best way to get my message out there and help other women is to ascend and desire and surround myself with others who are doing what they want and really being able to learn from one another. And I'm a huge fan of the phrase, a rising tide lifts all boats. So the more that I can lift other women up, it just is a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. We all rise together. That's beautiful. Thanks, Elizabeth. And I'm so glad you're here. And so, Ellen, tell us about you and what's the value for you of Women Speakers Association?
So yeah, I've been a member for 5 or 6 years now. And really the reason that I joined is I find one thing I love to do is go out and speak to small business owner groups, SBA. I work a lot with them on workshops and things like that. And I I haven't had a whole lot of interaction, but the videos that I've been able to access have really helped me a lot. And so in my spare time, what little I have, I try to go out and listen to the ones that interest me. And so it's been very helpful in that way.
Awesome. You bring up our speaker success trainings, and all the videos are in the library for members to watch over and over again. And every month we're bringing new trainings to the table. So it's really to help women in business thrive. And so that's a wonderful benefit, as well as the community and the monthly gatherings we have virtually. We've been a virtual organization for the 12, 13 years that we've been an organization here. So, or is it 14 now? Yes, I think it's like we're going out. We are on 14 years. Yay. So thank you both for being a part of our show today, for being a part of our community. I invite those of you watching to connect with our premier members at womenspeakersassociation.com. And if you want to put your toe in the water and learn a little bit more about what we are, and we have tons of resources, including what you see here, the Speaker Success Plan at speakersuccessplan.com. You can certainly download that for free, and you'll get our newsletter as well. And we look forward to welcoming you into our community. So I'm Laura Rubinstein, your host and producer of the Premier Women's Show here at WSATV. We will be back with you in another week, and we are so excited to bring on more Premier members here. So thank you so much. Thank you, Elizabeth and Ellen. We'll be back next time. Bye for now.